after the Seven Mountains Divine Island was destroyed, it broke into pieces and turned into many specks of light that scattered. Everyone searched for the location of the specks of light. If they were lucky, they might actually be able to find it. It might even be the mountain of the Tao Creation's divine crystals. 8. Of course Xianxia did not go, he only wanted to know the situation. Senior Luo, Senior Gutong, and Long Xian, Uncle Shi, oldest tree, I wonder how they are doing. Xianxia didn't even know how he could find them. As for Yang Zhenming, he didn't need to worry. Yang Zhenming had left the Seven Mountains Divine Island a long time ago and came to secretly build the Fighting Glorious City. If he had heard of the Fighting Glorious City in the future, he would be able to find Yang Zhenming. The killing evil dragon must have been taken to some other place. This guy is scary. Xianxia himself also had killing evil dragon, so he was clear on just how dangerous killing evil dragon were. Just as he was about to leave the sea, he saw a black shadow falling from the sky. What is this? A ball of black air? Xianxia carefully observed until he sensed a familiar aura. Only then did he feel shock. The falling black chi had a strong aura of a killing evil dragon. What exactly is this thing? It's not like killing evil dragon. Xianxia immediately distanced himself from the ball of black air. The black energy was very large and it released the aura of a killing evil dragon. Strangely, as it fell, the black energy became smaller and smaller. Is this a killing evil dragon? Xianxia watched the small black aura from afar and didn't dare to approach. This power is too terrifying. It's better for me to stay away from it. Xianxia was about to fly away, but the ball of black aura suddenly flew over, as fast as light, and instantly entered Xianxia's body. Crap! Xianxia was shocked. This damn thing actually found him. After the black aura entered his body, it quickly arrived at his divine sense C. Soon after, the small red fire dragon appeared and actually opened its mouth wide, swallowing the black aura that had become extremely small. You little thing, hurry up and vomit. Xianxia immediately let go of the red fire dragon and swung it with all his might. He knew that the black substance was related to the killing evil dragon. What's wrong with this little fellow? Why does it look like Shui, that gluttonous dragon, is eating all kinds of random things? Xianxia swung the small red fire dragon's tail in all kinds of positions, but nothing flew out. The ball of black energy seemed to have been merged by the red fire dragon. Damn it, we finally got rid of that killing evil dragon and now we have it. Xianxia scolded in his heart, but he could only be sent back into the divine sense C by the little red fire dragon. After the red fire dragon swallowed the lump of thing, it did not have any other reaction. Xianxia was a bit relieved, but he knew the hidden danger of the killing evil dragon. If he could not control it, the killing evil dragon would appear and even swallow him. There's no other way. This is the only way. Xianxia told Xiao Xianglin about this matter and told him to be prepared. If he was to be devoured by the killing evil dragon in the future, he would have to tell her to seal him away. Xianxia looked at a Tao Creation mountain in the distance. That was the Tao Creation's Wood Mountain, the first Tao Creation mountain he had gone to. He had wanted to take a look, but who knew that this mountain would suddenly shake and explode? What's going on? Xianxia was stunned. The Tao Creation's mountain was very big, but it instantly exploded and flashed with a burst of strong light before disappearing. He then looked towards the other Tao Creation mountainess, and one after another, they exploded and disappeared. What the hell? Could it be that once the Seven Mountains Divine Island is destroyed, the Tao Creation mountain will disappear as well? Xianxia found it hard to understand. There was one less Tao Creation ice mountain here, and now all the other Tao Creation mountainess were destroyed. At this time, because the Tao Creation place had lost 7 of his Tao Creation mountainess, he seemed to have become very desolate, as many places were drowned by the ocean. Xianxia had no choice but to ride his 6 realms mirrors and fly towards that direction. This change is too fast. Xianxia kept looking at the sign on the Super Yuan Dan Alliance, waiting for news from Chu Jinfeng. Chu Jinfeng said that she would contact him in the future. After waiting for 2 days, the sign finally vibrated. Then, he quickly flew in the direction indicated by the sign. Chu Jinfeng was on board a boat, but because of the intense tsunami, A large portion of Tao Creation Place was drowned. Chief, are you the only one? Xianxia asked. The rest of the Super Yuandan Alliance have long since been arranged for me. Right now, I'm the only one here. I'll go look for them in a while. Chu Jinfeng said, I am here to look for a few very important things. Through this badge, I found out that you were nearby and got you to come over. Chief, where is Tao Creation Divine Lord? Where is he? As long as Xianxia knew where the Tao Creation Divine Lord was, he would know where Luo Jiang and the others were going. I don't know. Chu Jinfeng shook her head. After the explosion of the Seven Mountains Divine Island, I lost contact with Master. Is there any way to find him? Xianxia was very worried. What is the situation right now? Is the seven great sects still here? Of course. A portion of them have already left. As for the seven ancestors, I have no idea. Chu Jinfeng said, Right now, I am more worried about where the killing evil dragon will go. After the killing evil dragon wakes up, it took me half my life to break the seal and in the end, it was a success, but my whereabouts are unknown. Xianxia silently swallowed his saliva. The remaining half of the killing evil dragon's life was swallowed up by that small-sized red fire dragon. He now knew what the consequences would be. It seems like this Tao Creation Place will not be at peace. Xianxia sighed. Isn't it? 6 Tao Creation Mountain-s have been destroyed along with the 7 Mountains Divine Island. Chu Jinfeng said, Right now, I am looking for the key that was left behind after the Tao Creation Mountain was destroyed. My master once said, back then there were a total of 9 Tao Creation Mountain-s, the Tao Creation's Evil Mountain, the Tao Creation's Divine Mountain, and the Tao Creation's Ice Mountain. Finally, the other 6 Tao Creation Mountain-s. Every Tao Creation Mountain has a key. I don't know what its use is, but my master has grasped 2 keys. One was his own Tao Creation Divine Mountain, and the other was obtained after the Tao Creation Ice Mountain self-destructed. Right now, the location of the key to the Evil Mountain of Tao Creation and the other 6 Tao Creation Mountain-s is unknown. Xianxia secretly took a deep breath. The key to the Tao Creation Mountain was definitely something extraordinary. Is there any clue? How big is the key? Xianxia asked. The key is as big as a dagger. There is no clue. Chu Jinfeng looked at the vast ocean and said with an expression as if he had seen a wild dog. This is a mission given by Master. I don't know when I'll be able to complete it. Finding 6 daggers in this vast sea was as difficult as finding 6 needles. Alliance Master, you'll definitely be able to complete it. Xianxia laughed dryly and comforted her. Chu Jinfeng pointed in a direction and said, If you go there, there will be land. Over there. Xianxia looked over, and what he saw was still a sea. Alliance Master, how did you know? In the Tao Creation Place, there is a high ground in that direction. You'll know once you go there. Chu Jinfeng laughed bitterly. I'll look around for a while longer. In short, I'll return home regularly. Then I'll take my leave. Xianxia didn't have the heart to fish for the key in this huge ocean. After bidding farewell to Chu Jinfeng, he hurriedly flew away. After Xianxia distanced himself from Chu Jinfeng, he summoned his red fire dragon and pulled its tail from its head to its head. He pulled it fiercely a few times to see if he could spit out the black air that was related to the killing evil dragon. Looks like there's no hope. That could very likely be the killing evil dragon. Xianxia was speechless when he saw the red fire dragon flying over mischievously. This little thing, I didn't treat you unfairly. Why is it like a reincarnated hungry ghost, eating everything you eat? Xianxia was a little angry, and then threw the red fire dragon into the divine sense sea. After flying on the sea for a few days, he finally saw land. Those guys who were building houses by the sea before are all dumbfounded now, right? Xianxia laughed. I wonder where the city lord is being built from. If he was to be washed away, it would be very funny. Xianxia came to the shore and saw that there were a lot of people there. The 7 Tao Creation Mountain-s of the Tao Creation Place already had a lot of people, and there were also people from other parts of the Tao Creation Place. After arriving on the surface, Xianxia heard many people talking about it. Many people believed that the matter of the Seven Mountains Divine Island exploding was real, which was why they jumped down from the stage in advance, otherwise they would already be dead. Many people who came down from Seven Mountains Divine Island were not used to it. The Seven Mountains Divine Island was originally a high and mighty region, and the people who were able to go up were all powerful and of noble status. Now that they came down here, they all felt that they had arrived at a poor place. Seven Mountains Divine Island has a large number of Tao Creation divine crystals, but all of them are gone now. It will not be easy to obtain the Tao Creation holy crystals in the future. After the Seven Mountains Divine Island explodes, many things will fall to the Tao Creation place. In a few years' time, there will definitely be people who will find it, and quite a few of them will be the Tao Creation's holy crystals. I hope so, but where should we go? Xianxia was also thinking about this issue. He had nowhere to go right now. He originally wanted to go to the Super Yuandan Alliance, but he felt that the Super Yuandan Alliance must have encountered some troubles as well. As he was thinking about this question, the red fire dragon suddenly reacted. Xianxia immediately distanced himself from the crowd and took out the red fire dragon. He saw that the red fire dragon was flying towards a direction, as if it wanted to guide him to something. There's something over there? Xianxia rode on his 6 realms mirrors and immediately flew over. In the Tao Creation place, he could easily fly very high and could even teleport. He flew high in the sky with the red fire dragon and continuously changed directions according to the red fire dragon's guidance. For the next few days, Xianxia kept feeling that he was randomly flying. He also didn't know what red fire dragon meant by that, but he felt that since this little thing met the ball of black air that the killing evil dragon turned into, it had become weird. It was very different from before. In the past, this little thing had always been lifeless and not as lively as it was now. He did not know where he came to. In short, this place was very primitive and there were no signs of anyone having entered, leaving a dense forest below him. He flew high in the sky and saw a pitch-black lake in the distance. The lake was circular and from a distance it looked very, very black. The red fire dragon cried out and used its little claws to point at the lake. When Xianxia flew in, he realized that it was not a lake, but rather a black quagmire. Sensing the evil qi, Xianxia's heart jumped. This was an qi that was very similar to a killing evil dragon. Little thing, are you a killing evil dragon or not? Why did you bring me here? Xianxia landed on the ground and immediately put the red fire dragon away. He was worried that the red fire dragon would not be able to come out from the hole. Then, he looked at the red fire dragon inside the divine sense sea. It had been drilling in the water non-stop, indicating for Xianxia to drill into the quagmire. I'm not that stupid. Xianxia did not go down immediately. Instead, he released his illusion body, telling it to sink to see what exactly was inside. After the spirit body had gone down, the sense of the killing evil dragon's aura became stronger and stronger. This could have been a lake, but after falling down something, it turned into a black quagmire. Xianxia carefully observed his surroundings and noticed that nearby the black quagmire, there were some trees that were affected and started to turn black. It was obvious that this was something that happened recently. The quagmire was not very deep, so the illusion quickly detected the source of the killing evil dragon's aura. He ordered the illusion to put that thing into the illusion storage space, and then used the spatial energy to retrieve the illusion. He took out the item and cleaned it. Turned out to be a black dagger. However, the sharp blade of the dagger was uneven, like there were some lines on it. Xianxia remembered that Chu Jinfeng had mentioned a key that was as big as a dagger. Could this be the key to the Tao Creation's evil mountain? Xianxia was secretly shocked. It was actually the red fire dragon's guidance. This made him even more worried. How did the red fire dragon know that there was a mysterious key inside the Tao Creation's evil mountain? Was it swallowed by the killing evil dragon? What's the use of this? Xianxia looked at the red fire dragon inside the divine sense sea, and then sighed. Originally, he had planned to let Xiao Xianglin see it, but after thinking about how dangerous it was, he gave up on this idea. After the red fire dragon guided Xianxia to the dagger-like key, it began to play in the divine sense sea, and no longer cared about this matter. Xianxia rode on top of the 6 realms mirrors, holding a black dagger as he looked at it carefully. He thought about it, made a decision, and decided to test it. After his blood dripped, the dagger did not respond. It did not work. There doesn't seem to be any danger. Xianxia suddenly ran out and looked at the dagger, laughing. Let me see. Xianxia seized the dagger, fiddled with it for a while, and then twisted the handle off the dagger. Look, we can remove this place, Xianxia said, then looked at the handle and took out a piece of yellow rolled-up paper. As expected of master. He knows so much. Xianxia exclaimed. Quick! Open it and see what's written on it. Xianxia opened it to take a look and frowned. Nothing much, it looks like a formation, and mainly used supreme mantras. Thailand's most popular female anchorwoman new love video exposure down the male host. The formation formed by the supreme mantra was very strong. The 8 ancestor contract map from before had used a large amount of supreme mantra to form such a powerful array. There aren't many supreme mantra, only around 8. I wonder what kind of formation it is. Xianxia frowned. It's a strange feeling. There's time formation and spatial array shadows inside. Could it be a space-time array? What would a formation like this be used for if it was kept in the key? Xianxia looked at the dagger and tested it. It was extremely sharp, and could actually cut open the Tao Creation's holy crystal easily. If it's a space-time array, maybe it can teleport people to somewhere or something. Xianxia said, generally speaking, the ability of the time and space power to break through the limitations of space more stably is much better than the power of space. Xianxia nodded his head. You better think of a way to find the Tao Creation Divine Lord, and ask him about it. Will show he has 2 keys. The key in our hands is from Tao Creation's evil mountain. We might get into a dangerous place, and the best case scenario would be to confirm it with Tao Creation Divine Lord. Xianxia returned to the Yu Yao Mountain Villa and continued refining his super-time array. This dagger is really powerful. What is used to refine it? Xianxia thought about the black stones that Song Long Profound had gotten hold of earlier. What kind of bone stones were they? Xianxia had also forgotten to ask Luo Zhiyang about the mysterious bone fossil. I don't know what kind of place this is either. I'll go back to my original place and see if I can find Yang Zhenming. Xianxia went to see how the construction of the Fighting Glorious City was progressing. If he could meet Chu Jinfeng, he would also be able to ask about the bone fossil. Xianxia used more than 10 days to return to the shore. This place was extremely lively. He used his illusion to search around to find information, and finally managed to learn something related to the Fighting Glorious City. There were many people who came from the 7 Mountains Divine Island here, and they were very familiar with the Fighting Glorious City. When they heard that Yang Zhenming wanted to rebuild the Fighting Glorious City, they were very happy. At least it would be a familiar place for them, like the 7 Mountains Divine Island's memories. Yang Zhenming had previously constructed a Fighting Glorious City before, but he had been submerged by the ocean. Now that he was at the shore and confirmed that the situation was stable, he brought over many large mountains from other places and piled them together, forming an even larger mountain. Then, he built his Fighting Glorious City on top of them. After Xianxia confirmed the address, he immediately rushed over. The reason why Yang Zhenming chose to build a city at such a high altitude was to prevent himself from being drowned by the ocean. There were a few experts from the world-defying stage legendary rank beside Yang Zhenming. With the help of these experts, he could quickly build a war-radiant divine mountain with many of these mountains. Xianxia came to the foot of the mountain and smiled. The city lord shouldn't be constructed for nothing this time, but once it is completed, many people will surge in, and before long, the original splendor of the Fighting Glorious City will reappear. Just as Xianxia was about to go up the mountain, he saw a very arrogant aura from above, and then a large amount of shattered rocks flew down. When he first arrived here, he had seen a lot of broken rocks falling down. He had not expected them to fall down like this. This is the auras of the city lord and Lai Dao that have been pushed to the limits. Did they start fighting? Impossible in this kind of place. Other than the old fellows from the 7 great sects, there were very few people who were their match. Could it be that they were fighting against each other? There are still people provoking them. Xianxia immediately controlled the 6 realms mirrors to fly quickly. Soon he arrived at the mountain peak. He saw that many houses had collapsed, and a large wall formed from giant boulders had been destroyed. With a single glance, he could tell that there was a battle going on here. What's going on? Xianxia landed beside Yanjiu. Blood trickled down the corner of his mouth and his face was pale white. City Lord, come back quickly. Yanjiu anxiously shouted, calling Yang Zhenming, Lai Dao and the others back. Xianxia looked into the distance. Yang Zhenming and the others were facing a few burning men. Those burning men were all aggressive, overweeningly arrogant, and looked extremely arrogant. Old Yen, what happened? Xianxia asked. Someone has suddenly appeared out of nowhere. He is very tyrannical and insisted on taking over our war-radiant divine mountain. A mountain that we had spent almost a month to build. They aren't weak either. There are so many small and large mountains here, and they could even build one themselves. They actually wanted to take over our mountain. Yanjiu said, they seem to be very strong. I want City Lord and the others to come back first. No need. I'll go take a look. Xianxia immediately ran over, and when he sensed Xianxia's qi, he became more relaxed. I never thought that you guys would actually have helpers, but it looks like they are just trash. Little chicks that just entered the world-defying stage legendary rank. Can't you call a stronger helper? A long-faced man sneered when he saw Xianxia had arrived. You said I'm trash? Xianxia couldn't help but laugh. If you have the guts, let me punch you. See if I'm trash or not. I don't think you dare. You're just the sharpest and weakest chicken. Yet you're only crowing loudly. You little piece of trash. You're really arrogant. You actually dare to be impudent in front of me. After the long-faced man finished speaking, he had already arrived in front of Xianxia and used his strength to grab at him. The claw burned with a scorching fire as it went straight for Xianxia's heart. The other party was in the middle stage of world-defying stage legendary rank. But Xianxia was not afraid. The other party was grabbing him, seemingly wanting to pull out his heart. But he looked calm and collected, allowing the red fire dragon to release the legendary dragon fire and gather its energy. Rumble, rumble, rumble. After the long-faced man grabbed Xianxia's chest, a burst of violent flames splashed out. Flickering flames enveloped an area of 300 meters around Xianxia as countless balls of fire flew in the air and fell to the ground. Xianxia had also only taken a few steps back, while the long-faced man was sent flying. What was shocking was that the long-faced man's arm was actually broken into pieces and connected to his shoulder, and his entire arm had already exploded. You used a god equipment. While the long-faced man was enraged, Xianxia had already appeared behind him. A huge mirror was pressed down fiercely, and the smooth surface of the mirror suddenly flickered with flames. The strong legendary dragon fire accompanied the 6 realms mirror's pressure, and a wave of flames surged out, like a dragon's roar, enveloping the long-faced man. The 6 realms mirrors was pressed on the ground. The flames became even fiercer, sweeping out like the wind. And when Xianxia picked up the 6 realms mirrors, the long-faced man was already gone. So it turns out that I'm the only one who calls others trash. Xianxia shook his head and sighed as he stood amidst the flames. There were 3 other people with the long-faced man. When they saw this scene, they were also stunned. They were clearly aware of the long-faced man's strength. Yet they were pressed down by Xianxia's 6 realms mirrors and turned into ashes. The legendary dragon fire that Xianxia used to release the red fire dragon had been strengthened by various legendary mantra, and its own 6 gods had been strengthened by a lot. So with the opponent's body being so weak, it was impossible for them to withstand the flames of the red fire dragon. The flames of the red fire dragon seemed to be much stronger than before. What Xianxia felt just now was that red fire dragon were originally similar to killing evil dragon. They were able to release a very strong power. You actually dared to kill one of our men. They were all in the middle stage of world-defying stage legendary rank. Why would I not dare? Not only am I not afraid of killing villains like you, I feel good about it. As you can see, that bastard even wanted to kill me, let alone call me trash. Xianxia sneered. If you don't want to die, then hurry up and admit your wrongs and give me the appropriate compensation. Otherwise, Don't even think about getting lost. They would not agree to any of Xianxia's conditions. Moreover, Xianxia had killed one of their comrades, yet he looked down on them in such a way. As domineering and unreasonable people, how could they lower their heads? Kill him, the middle-aged man shouted in anger. Just as he was about to attack, a burst of pressure came from all directions. Xiao Xianglin and Little White Fox suddenly came out from the Yuyao Mountain Villa, released their clones, and released their pressure mantra. Seeing that they did not know how to repent, Xianxiang released the legendary dragon fire mercilessly and poured it into the pressure domain. He allowed Xiao Xianglin and Little White Fox to strengthen the legendary dragon fire and turned the pressure domain into a dragon fire refining prison, burning the few people inside into ashes. When Yang Zhenming saw those few people being killed, he was extremely moved. All of them had been beaten until they were forced to retreat step by step. But when Chen Xiang and the two girls attacked and killed them, he, who was at the middle stage of world-defying stage legendary rank, felt extremely ashamed. City Lord, who are they? Chen Xiang asked. They aren't weak at all, but they don't seem to belong to the Fire Mountain School. Are they from there? Is there such a guy in Seven Mountains Divine Island? They claim to be from the Tao Creation Fire Mountain, Yang Zhenming said as his brows knitted. I heard from them that they were Fire Creation Races who were sealed within the Tao Creation Fire Mountain. He even said that it was our honor to set our eyes on the mountain we built, and that his tone was so great that it could overtake the heavens. A clan sealed in the Tao Creation Fire Mountain? Chen Xiang was not surprised by this at all. He was only curious as to why it was sealed. He felt that it was very likely that it was the work of the Tao Creation Divine Lord, and judging from the performance of those few people just now, he could tell that these people were not good people. It seems like there is something sealed within the seven Tao Creation Mountainess and they have all escaped, Chen Xiang said. The seven Tao Creation Mountainess were extremely huge, and no one knew what was inside. I thought the Seven Mountains Divine Island was the strongest. I didn't think that there would be such a fellow sealed inside. Yang Zhenming sighed. Looks like life won't be so good in the future. We were originally lacking resources here, and now these things come out from the Seven Tao Creation Mountain. This is not certain. After the Seven Tao Creation Mountainess explode, there might be many other Tao Creations divine crystals that come out. Chen Xiang laughed. Maintaining such a powerful seal requires a lot of energy. Just like the 8 ancestor contract map in the Tao Creation ancient place, it requires a large amount of Tao Creation's sacred crystals. You had better gather a little more allies and tell them that there are a lot of strong people who have been sealed here. Only by joining together can we overcome this obstacle. Chen Xiang said, I'll go ask around to see if there's anything related to these fellows. Chen Xiang took the plate. He was going to look for Chu Jinfeng. Chu Jinfeng was no longer in the ocean. After asking around and finding out the location of the Super Yuandan Alliance's location, he immediately went there. The location of the Super Yuandan Alliance was still within the villa. There were already a few hundred capable people within the Super Yuandan Alliance, and they quickly built a villa. Furthermore, they even laid several layers of enchantments, which could only be entered by people with brand names. Their plans to build a villa were the same as Yang Zhenming's. They built it on top of a huge mountain, which they built using many mountains. Chen Xiang entered the villa and immediately went to look for Chu Jinfeng. Previously, when Chu Jinfeng was searching for the key on the sea, he had to temporarily give up because it was too difficult to search for it. Chief! Chen Xiang arrived outside Chu Jinfeng's study room and knocked on the door softly. Chen Xiang? Come in, Chu Jinfeng said. After Chen Xiang entered, he closed the door and smiled. Have you found the key? How is it possible? Chu Jinfeng shook his head and laughed bitterly. I don't think the key is in the sea, Chen Xiang said. Oh? What do you mean? Searching for the key was an important mission given to Chu Jinfeng by the Tao Creation Divine Lord. He obviously wanted to complete it quickly. I killed a few who claimed to be Fire Creation Races, but their strengths were very strong. They said that they were previously sealed in Tao Creation Fire Mountain. Chen Xiang said. When Chu Jinfeng heard it, his reaction was huge. His face was full of shock. Looks like they aren't dead yet. Chen Xiang knew that Chu Jinfeng understood these things. Are they the same as the Paternoster race? Were they created before and then sealed? Xianxia asked. They were not created, but back then, it was also a very strong power and was able to grasp a large amount of Tao Creation's incantations. Chu Jinfeng said, and they are an extremely unstable existence because back then, those first Tao Creation ancestors gave them a lot of power. If they were not sealed with their personalities, it would definitely affect the development of the myriad Tao. Are there any in the 7 Tao Creation Mountainess? Xianxia asked. Yes. However, I do not know if the other races from the Tao Creation Mountain are dead or not. Chu Jinfeng frowned. Back then, sealing them was done by the ancestors of the various Tao Creation Mountainess. Looks like they left some tricks behind. If you didn't tell me, I wouldn't have remembered this matter. It would have been troublesome. Tao Creation Divine Lord should also consider such a thing. Xianxia said, does he not have any other instructions? Chu Jinfeng shook his head. No. In the future, they will be the cause of the chaos in Tao Creation Place. I am very clear on the race they are, otherwise they would not have been sealed back then. This was exactly what Xianxia was thinking. Right now, he just wanted to quickly find the Tao Creation Divine Lord and ask about the use of the key. The key you're looking for, will it be in their hands? Xianxia said. That's possible. It would be good if I were to be in their hands. At the very least, I know where I would be and it would be much easier to find a needle in a haystack. Chu Jinfeng laughed. Now we have clues, it's all thanks to you. Xianxia could tell that Chu Jinfeng was extremely confident in his own abilities. Otherwise, he wouldn't be smiling so happily, because he felt that he could take the key away from the other races. Chief, do you need me to do something for the Super Yuan Dan Alliance? Xianxia laughed. I'm still a part of the Super Yuan Dan Alliance. At least I can do something about it. This, you being able to refine Legendary God Dan is the best. I will provide all the materials you need, and I will even give you an additional 5,000 Tao Creation Holy Crystals. Chu Jinfeng laughed. How's the price? Although he was only earning 5,000, Xianxia felt that it was not bad. This was because in the Super Yuan Dan Alliance, to be able to obtain world-defying Dan Grain S and a few pill formulas was priceless. Sure, how many pills do you need now? I'll go and refine it now. Xianxia planned to ask the world-defying Dan Grain about the pill formulas after refining this batch of Legendary God Dan. For the time being, we will have 20 pills, so we will need someone to choose their talent. We have to cultivate a new batch of world-defying stage Legendary Rank S as soon as possible. Chu Jinfeng said. Then, he gave Xianxia 100,000 Tao Creation Holy Crystals, as a payment in advance to Xianxia. Oh right. What's the price of the materials you need to refine the Legendary God Dan? Chu Jinfeng said. 5,000 Tao Creation Holy Crystals are required. Xianxia said. This is Big Head. My world-defying Dan Grain is special. It requires me to absorb the energy of the Tao Creation's sacred crystal. So it's like that. Chu Jinfeng was very surprised with Xianxia's world-defying Dan Grain. This sounds good, but it only used up the power of the Tao Creation's holy crystal, which could reduce the pressure on the Alchemist. Chu Jinfeng gave Xianxia another 100,000 Tao Creation holy crystals as consumption for refining Legendary God Dan. Xianxia immediately felt that Chu Jinfeng was a tycoon who left with 200,000 Tao Creation holy crystals just like that. After all, he was the Tao Creation Divine Lord's disciple. I'll come find you once I'm done refining, Xianxia said. He immediately headed to his residence in the villa and started refining the Legendary God Dan in the secret room. This was not a difficult matter for him. While he was refining the pellet, Xiao Xianglin finally completed that super time array. Master, how powerful are your super time array? Xianxia anxiously asked. The reason why Xiao Xianglin refined this array disk was to learn that set of legendary mantra. As long as she mastered that set of legendary mantra, she would be able to refine a Paternoster Soul Stone, and at that time, she would be able to let Xianxia and the others learn more supreme mantra more quickly. It has been 2 hours outside, and it's been around 10,000 years inside. To change into 100,000 years like this in a single day, you must be incredible. Xiao Xianglin laughed. It's just that it consumes a lot of Tao Creation's sacred crystals. Incredible! How many Tao Creation holy crystals are needed? In the Tao Creation place, it was extremely difficult to reverse the flow of time. The more time one needed to do so, the more difficult it would be, and it was far from something that could be compared to in those inferior worlds. You probably need to consume 50,000 Tao Creation's divine crystals in 2 hours, Xiao Xianglin said. The corner of Chun Xiang's mouth twitched. This was simply burning the Tao Creation's sacred crystal. To obtain 600,000 Tao Creation holy crystals in a single day, that was simply too terrifying. Seems like I have to earn more Tao Creation holy crystals, Chen Xiang said. I plan to try for 8 hours first. 40,000 years of time should be enough for me to master that set of legendary mantra. Xiao Xianglin said. This time array is very powerful. After circulating it once, the next time it will circulate will require a period of time because the twisting time is too long. I have to wait for it to recover. In short, after activating it once, I cannot activate it immediately. In 4 hours, he would reach 200,000 Tao Creation holy crystals. Right now, Chun Xiang had at least 400,000 holy crystals, and he could take half of them out in an instant. Yes, master. You will definitely succeed, Chun Xiang said. Xiao Xianglin had entered the super time array. She went in herself because she had to release 2 clones inside. This was the limit that the time array could bear. At this moment, Chun Xiang could feel that there was a very violent energy surging inside the Yu Yao mountain villa. 8 hours later, Xiao Xianglin exited the profound sky continent. Fortunately, when she was learning the legendary mantra, she was still in a kind of selfless state, so she did not feel too bored or worried about the passage of time. Chun Xiang had not finished refining those legendary goddan. Master, how is it? Chun Xiang asked anxiously. Of course it's a success. Xiao Xianglin chuckled. Your master is the heavenly incantation master. If I can't even learn it with all my time, then no one can succeed. That's great. Don't you think I will be able to obtain pressure mantra and the doppelganger mantra soon? Chun Xiang was very much looking forward to it. Initially, my understanding of the legendary mantra was wrong, but after I grasped it, I finally understood it. Xiao Xianglin sighed. I had thought that after mastering it, all I needed to do was to inscribe the memory of the legendary mantra into the Paternoster Soul Stone and let the person eat it. Actually, that's not the case. The person who refined the Paternoster Soul Stone could only condense the incantation he had mastered. Although it was different from what he imagined, Chun Xiang felt that it was okay. As long as you can help me master the pressure mantra quickly, it's fine. These 2 incantations had a huge effect on Chun Xiang. Refining Paternoster Soul Stone also requires a lot of Tao Creation's divine crystals. Xiao Xianglin said, if it's the Paternoster Soul Stones that are refining Supreme Mantra, then it needs at least 50,000 Tao Creation holy crystals. However, it requires 10 times more to condense legendary mantras. Chun Xiang was stunned. With so many Tao Creation holy crystals, it would not be easy to get hold of. Right now, the only person who could cause him to vomit blood was Chu Jinfeng, who had a large number of Tao Creation holy crystals. I'll help you make the pressure mantra first. This is a supreme mantra. It's only 50,000 Tao Creation holy crystals. Xiao Xianglin also needed a certain amount of time to refine the Paternoster Soul Stone. All right, master. If you want to open the time array again, how long will it take? Chun Xiang asked. It may take a few years for the internal form to recover. Xiao Xianglin said. You want to use it? That's not it. Can you throw a super time array into a normal time array and speed up its recovery? Chun Xiang felt that there was no need to wait anymore. No. This form of time is extremely mysterious and won't change because of this. Xiao Xianglin shook his head. Now that Xiao Xianglin had gone to refine a Paternoster Soul Stone, she spent 250,000 Tao Creation divine crystals in one go. Chun Xiang stayed in the secret room for a few days before he went to look for Chu Jinfeng. Alliance head. The pill is ready. Chun Xiang passed 20 legendary goddanes to Chu Jinfeng. It was pretty fast. Chu Jinfeng was not surprised. Alchemists at their level all had time arrays in their hands. Alliance head. Do you think that the Tao Creation's holy crystals will become rarer in the future? Xianxia asked. He was extremely worried about this matter. If the number of holy crystals in the Tao Creation decreased, then it would be difficult for him to obtain more in the future. I was worried before, but now it seems that it isn't so. The 6 Tao Creation mountainess that exploded had a large amount of holy crystals, and now that they have been scattered all over Tao Creation Place, many people have found them. Many people have become extremely rich. Chu Jinfeng chuckled and said, maybe there are more holy crystals in the Tao Creation than there were in the 7 Mountains Divine Island before this. Hearing Chu Jinfeng's words, Xianxia became more relaxed. He had consumed a lot of Tao Creation's holy crystals now. If he did not have enough Tao Creation's holy crystals, it would affect his progress. Xianxia, you are also a member of our Super Yuan Dan Alliance. Here, take this. Chu Jinfeng passed 2 crystal boards to Xianxia. There are 2 relatively easy-to-use world-defying Dan Grain-s inside. Take them home and study hard. Maybe it will be of great help to you. Chu Jinfeng also knew that Xianxia had mastered a very unique world-defying Dan Grain. From the moment he looked at the legendary God Dan, he knew that the strong effect of the peak Dan and the legendary God Dan came from that world-defying Dan Grain. Of course Xianxia wanted it. He immediately thanked her after receiving it. If you need any pill formulas, I'll give them to you. Chu Jinfeng said, you have just stepped into the world-defying stage legendary rank, so you will definitely need pills that are useful at your current stage. This will require a legendary divine medicine and a legendary God Dan. I don't have any medicines yet, so I'll need to wait a while to grow them. All right. Xianxia received the 2 world-defying Dan Grain-s and was in a hurry to learn from them. He took his leave, returned to his room, and began learning. Learning world-defying Dan Grain was extremely easy for Xianxia. The Huajing Dan Grain from before was considered to be rather difficult, but he could easily grasp it. In terms of learning world-defying Dan Grain, he had a heaven-defying talent. These 2 world-defying Dan Grain are very special. Xianxia looked at the description himself. Of the 2 world-defying Dan Grain, one of them was called the Mighty Earth-Shaking Pill Pattern. This kind of pill that had been crafted would have a strong explosive power. The inscription was mainly used on those berserk herbs. It could easily suppress those herbs. It was not only used on the pills after they had formed, but it would also play a great role during the process of refinement. If he met with any berserk herbs or energy, he could easily suppress it with this pill pattern. Apart from this, there was another powerful ability. The berserk energy suppressed would become even more berserk. Pills made with this pill pattern are not for eating. Xianxia smiled slightly. It should be the pill that will explode, but this was my forte. It was just that he did not have any world-defying Dan Grain in this area later on, so he allowed Xiao Xianglin to play around with this kind of world-defying Dan Grain if he had free time. What kind of berserk medicine should I use? Xianxia was troubled by this. We'll talk about it after we've seen the second kind of world-defying Dan Grain. We'll then look for the Alliance Master for the medicinal ingredients. Chu Jinfeng was sure that there were a lot of herbs here, and this was one of the biggest benefits of joining the Super Yuan Dan Alliance. The second type of world-defying Dan Grain is called Twin Dan Grain. When Xianxia saw the name on the description, he felt that it was extremely strange and continued to read. Twin Dan Grain's specialty was to be able to make a refined pill instantly turn into 2 pills, but it required 2 times to form a pill pattern, and it also required a certain amount of energy. This Twin Dan Grain is not bad, but it needs to be improved. Xianxia said, when these pill marks awaken, they would need to absorb the alchemist's energy. This was a huge burden for the alchemist. If it was improved, it would only absorb the Tao Creation's holy crystal's energy. If it was refined using an expensive pellet, no matter how much Tao Creation's holy crystals he absorbed, Xianxia would not feel pained. I wonder what the final result will be for these world-defying Dan Grain. I have to get Master to improve them as soon as possible. Xianxia wanted to know what kind of Tao Creation holy crystal would be used up after the improvement. When Xiao Xianglin was refining the Paternoster Soul Stone, he would give the vibrating pill tattoos and Twin Dan Grains to her, and let her finish her work before she started. Xianxia came out of the secret room to look for Chu Jinfeng. but he found out that Chu Jinfeng had already left the Super Yuan Mountain Villa. Forget it, wait for him to come back before taking the herbs. We'll go to Fighting Gloria City first to check on the progress. Chun Xiang left the Super Yuan Dan Alliance and headed towards the Fighting Gloria City. He didn't know if the people he killed at Fighting Gloria City would come back again, but if there were many of them, Yang Zhenming might not be able to hold them off. The Fighting Gloria City was still being built at an accelerated pace. Only after the city was built would it be able to attract more people to come here, and at that time there would be many experts from the world-defying stage legendary rank to come here. This way, the strength of the entire city would be raised, and even if the people from the fire creation race were here to cause trouble, Yang Zhenming still had a certain amount of confidence. The city lord. When will it be completed? Chun Xiang went over to the place where Yang Zhenming was temporarily staying. The surrounding areas were also under construction. Yang Zhenming had already recruited a few world-defying stage legendary rank S to join the Fighting Gloria City. Those people from the world-defying stage legendary rank knew that the future was uncertain, and before they knew what dangers awaited them, they planned to gather together. This would make them safer. There's still one more month before it can be completed. Fortunately, I knew quite a few people back then, and now they're all here to help out. Yang Zhenming laughed. What about formations and barriers? Chun Xiang felt that this was the most important guarantee for a city. Previously, the Fighting Gloria City's enchantment formation was released from the array disk, so I have more than 10 array disks. Yang Zhenming said, we have enough power to protect the entire War Radiant Divine Mountain. That's good. In the future, I will have a place to visit often. Chun Xiang laughed. City Lord. A young man surnamed Song outside said he wants to see you. He said that he and Boss Shin are brothers. An old man suddenly walked over and said. Chun Xiang knew immediately that the man with the surname Song was Song Long Profound. I'll bring him in. He's my brother. Chun Xiang said anxiously. He had previously given Song Long Profound a legendary god Dan, so he was sure that he had broken through. He was secretly worried about Song Long Profound previously, because Song Long Profound had already left the Tao Creation Divine Lord and the others and was not with them. When Song Long Profound saw Chun Xiang, he laughed. Big brother, I knew you were here. Look at me, have I become more powerful? N. Chun Xiang patted Song Long Profound's shoulder and laughed. Fortunately, I run fast. If I were a bit slower, I might not be able to see Big Brother anymore. When Song Long Profound talked about this matter, his heart still had lingering fear. It's good that you're fine now. Chun Xiang asked. Where are your master and seniors? Have you heard anything? My master found me before. Song Long Profound frowned. After Seven Mountains Divine Island exploded, he said that he wanted to go with Senior Master to a place, and asked if I wanted to go. He said that if I went to that place, it's very likely that he won't be able to come back in the future. Then I thought about it and gave up. Song Long Profound laughed out loud. I feel that this place is pretty good. Moreover, I just stepped into the world-defying stage legendary rank, so I will definitely follow them to an incredible place. What is that place? What are they doing there? Chun Xiang was curious. Why would Tao Creation Divine Lord and the rest want to go to that kind of place? Song Long Profound knew that Chun Xiang would ask, and he shook his head. I do not know much about this place. Master only told me, that is Martial Uncle's home. Martial Uncle is going back, and will not be coming back in the future. Furthermore, the other ancestors are also going back. Chun Xiang was puzzled. Tao Creation Divine Lord's home? What kind of place was that? I originally wanted to go take a look, but knowing that I might not be able to return in the future, I decided against it. Right now, I'm still more suited to this place. Song Long Profound laughed. Actually, those ancestors weren't that strong. They just had a mission to come here to do something. When they were doing these things and had conflicts with each other after they made a ruckus, they made up. Chun Xiang nodded his head. With these ancestors not here, this place will become even more chaotic in the future. We have to be prepared to deal with them. Yang Zhenming and the others also heard it, which made the pressure on them even greater, especially when they heard about the fire creation race, a clan that had been sealed for many years. Then what about the fellows from Paternoster race? Is there any news of them? Xianxia asked. Did your master tell you to stay here and watch out for anything else? Yes, he told me to pay attention to the evil creation race. This is an extremely terrifying clan, and is also the only one in the 9 creation race that has not been sealed. After Song Long Profound finished speaking, he thought for a while, then said, Oh right. There were also many descendants called God Creation Race, and they were also sealed by the Tao Creation Divine Lord at that time. Xianxia had never heard of God Creation Race before. He only said that there were clans sealed within the 7 Tao Creation Mountain S, but now there were actually Evil Creation Race S and God Creation Race S. What do I need to pay attention to in Evil Creation Race? Hurriedly asked. Back then, the other 8-9 Creation Race S had all been sealed, and only one Evil Creation Race had not. He only said that he would rather face the Paternoster race than the Evil Creation Race itself. Also, he said that there was a grudge between Evil Creation Race and himself. Paternoster race is not dead, and they have already left the Tao Creation Ancient Place, so they are a very strong force. Song Long Profound said, Then it will be the 7 great sects that are struggling to survive. Their strength cannot be ignored either. Yang Zhenming laughed bitterly. These days are really not easy. Previously in the Tao Creation Ancient Place, there were 7 major sects that were secretly suppressing them, big shots of various sizes. Now that the 7 Mountains Divine Island was destroyed, the various powers that were sealed previously all escaped. The main reason why 7 Mountains Divine Island was killed was to get rid of those rich resources. This way, if no one was able to get it, then there wouldn't be a situation where there would be any tyrants in the area. After that, so many powerful forces would definitely fight with each other. Yan Zhou said, This could be the Tao Creation Divine Lord's goal. As for what will happen in the future, he doesn't care. Xianxia placed his hand on Song Long Profound's shoulder and asked, Long Xian, then what are your plans? Do you want to stay in the Fighting Glorious City? I will come often. Right now the Tao Creation Place is very interesting. I have to go around and gain more experience. It is also a type of experience for me. Song Long Profound laughed. He could not sit still. All right, let's meet again in the future. If you have any interesting news, tell it to me. Xianxia laughed. Definitely. Everyone, farewell. Song Long Profound cupped his fist and smiled to everyone, then left the Fighting Glorious City. After Song Long Profound left, Yang Zhenming suddenly felt a lot of pressure, but he could only wait until later. If the Fighting Glorious City wanted to rise up again, it would definitely be difficult. Just as Song Long Profound left, another fellow who claimed to be Xianxia's friend came over. Furthermore, he refused to reveal his name and appeared to be acting extremely strange. Xianxia guessed that it was Zhou Xingji, and he was very happy that Zhou Xingji was still alive. Old Zhou, you're not dead yet. Xianxia laughed. What is it? Do you really want me to die? Zhou Xingji snorted, looked around and said, This is a new Fighting Glorious City. Not bad. Zhou Xingji was not like Song Long Profound. He did not like to run around, so Xianxia could tell that he wanted to stay at this place. Do you want to join in and build it together? Xianxia laughed. This is City Lord. Hello, City Lord. Zhou Xingji said. Yang Zhenming did not know Zhou Xingji's identity, but he felt that he was Xianxia's friend, so there shouldn't be a problem. Previously, Yan Zhou was just like this, but now Yan Zhou was very familiar with him. Brother, you're quite strong. Yang Zhenming laughed. Zhou Xingji was also from the world-defying stage legendary rank, and his strength was not weak. You're too kind. Zhou Xingji laughed stiffly. It could be seen that he was not good at conversing with others, especially when conversing with them. Brother Zhou, you will definitely not be mistreated within the Fighting Glorious City. And since you are Xianxia's friend, I will definitely treat you as a friend. Yang Zhenming said. City Lord, you can put me at ease now. Zhou Xingji nodded his head. He had nowhere to go, so he decided to stay here for the time being. Old Zhou, I'm telling you, this city will attract a lot of trouble in the future, Xianxia said. Humph. Do you think I'm someone who's afraid of things? Zhou Xingji sneered. That's good. Xianxia knew that Zhou Xingji was pretty good at fighting. After all, he was from Paternoster race and there weren't any restrictions now. Using all sorts of supreme mantra would also make him strong. City Lord, I'll take him for a walk. Xianxia said he wanted to talk about something with Zhou Xingji. After Zhou Xingji followed Xianxia far away, he said in a low voice, "The Paternoster race has survived quite a lot. It's just that those powerful old fellows have paid a heavy price. This is not good." Xianxia said, "Those old fellows should be able to recover soon." "Yes," Zhou Xingji said, "it's a good thing that the Tao creation place has so many forces. At that time, I wonder if the Paternoster race will make a move against the fighting glorious city. In any case, I won't back down." Xianxia was also a little worried about this, so he planned to let Chu Jinfeng spare some of his energy to deal with the Paternoster race first. "Xianxia, you better be careful. Your legendary god Dan have already spread far and wide. All the major powers need to increase their strength, and using legendary god Dan is the fastest," Zhou Xingji warned. Xianxia himself was clear of this point. Zhou Xingji chose a place to stay himself and built his own residence. Xianxia returned to the Super Yuandan Alliance to check if Chu Jinfeng had returned. Chu Jinfeng did not come back, but a very powerful old man stopped him. Behind the old man were two young men. The old man was in the middle stage of world-defying stage legendary rank, and the two young men were in the early stage. "What's the matter?" Seeing the other party's overbearing attitude, Xianxia knew that something bad was going to happen. "I am Lin Yu, the elder of Super Yuandan Alliance. When the chief is not here, I will be in charge of everything." Lin Yu coldly said, "You are a member of the Super Yuandan Alliance. Right now the Super Yuandan Alliance needs to quickly develop. I hope you can contribute the legendary god Dan's pill formulas and the world-defying Dan grains ingredients." Xianxia felt that it was funny. "I'm sorry, I can't do it." Xianxia shook his head and smiled. "When I joined the Super Yuandan Alliance, I didn't say that I needed to contribute any pill formulas and world-defying Dan grains. It's different from the past. You should know about the situation in Tao Creation Place now." Lin Yu loudly said, "Since you have joined the Super Yuandan Alliance, you should think about it and not be so selfish. You should contribute the legendary god Dan's pill formulas to the benefit of the Dan Alliance. The legendary god Dan was created by me and not by the Super Yuandan Alliance. I have the right to do whatever I create." Xianxia was very angry. One of the young men behind Lin Yu sneered, "You think you can create such an unparalleled pill recipe for legendary god Dan? Ridiculous. You clearly got it by chance, yet you claim it to be yours. Truly shameless. You guys are the shameless ones. I really never thought that there would be people like you in Super Yuandan Alliance. If I knew earlier, I wouldn't have joined Super Yuandan Alliance." Xianxia was enraged. He looked at the young man. "Being together with trash like you really makes me lose face. Only Chu Jinfeng went on a long journey. Only then did Lin Yu join up with many alchemists to demand the legendary god Dan's pill formulas. Farewell." Xianxia cupped his hands together and turned to leave. Since Chu Jinfeng was not here, there was no need for him to stay. Just as he was about to leave, the young man hurried over and grabbed Xianxia's arm. He then said with all his might, "Don't even think about leaving behind the legendary god Dan's pill formula." Xianxia was furious. He turned around and slapped the young man ruthlessly with his palm. Using the power of the red fire dragon, he sent the young man flying and smashed a tall building. You attacked from inside the Super Yuandan Alliance." Lin Yu's expression was cold as he shouted, "Quick! Stop him! Don't let him leave! All of you who want to make a move, stand up and let me clearly remember your appearances and auras. I want to see just who it is that colluded with Lin Yu." Xianxia swept his eyes across the group of people. This group of alchemists were originally part of the Super Yuandan Alliance, but there were also those who joined together with Xianxia, especially the group that joined together with Xianxia. They were very tactful and silent, as they were clearly aware of Xianxia's strength. Aside from that, they also admired Xianxia a lot as he was, after all, able to create legendary god Dan-S, and he was also in the same Super Yuandan Alliance as them. "Good. Now it's just the two of you. Seeing that only Linyu and the young lad behind him stood out, Xianxia smiled slightly. I made my move at Super Yuan Dan Alliance, so what? Why don't you guys stop me? Because of Chu Jinfeng. Xiang did not continue any further. He once again turned around and was about to leave, when the entire Linyu immediately flew up and fiercely struck Xiang in the back. That palm was extremely sinister, as though it wanted to kill Xiang. Xiang did not turn around, and after the palm had touched his back, a mirror suddenly appeared. The 6 realms mirrors appeared, and Lin Yu's palm slammed into it, sending it flying. The backlash from his palm just now ignited Lin Yu's entire body into a raging fire. You overestimate yourself. Xiang laughed disdainfully, then walked forward. The moment he walked out of the door, he suddenly sensed a strong aura attacking him from behind. This aura was as strong as Chu Jinfeng's. He guessed that it was aimed at the peak of world-defying stage legendary rank. Leave behind the legendary God Dan's pill formulas and your world-defying Dan grain, or don't even think about leaving. A voice thundered behind him, shaking Xiang's vital energy and blood until he almost vomited. Xiang was not to be outdone. He used all of his strength to resist the incoming pressure, and then used the power of the Yu Yao Mountain Villa's women to open a passage in time. Just you wait. Xiang roared at the old man behind him, who was rushing over, then disappeared. When the old man saw Xiang escaping, he cursed and then immediately rushed to save Lin Yu. However, it was too late. Lin Yu had already been burnt to death by his own flames. In everyone's eyes, no one spoke a word. You group of fools, why didn't you stop Xiang? As long as we stop him, we can obtain the legendary God Dan's recipe. The old man looked at the group of alchemists and roared, forcefully asking others for their pill formulas and world-defying Dan grains was a huge taboo. The alchemists here all had good innate skills. If they were to create pill formulas and world-defying Dan grains as strong as the legendary God Dan in the future, wouldn't they be forced to hand them over? Therefore, they would not do such a thing. They only hoped that Chu Jinfeng would return quickly, or else they would leave Super Yuan Dan Alliance. After Xiang ran away, he cursed, "Everything is fine in Super Yuan Dan Alliance. Why would there be such a fellow?" Su Meiyao said, "Isn't this guy just greedy? He even thought that everyone was like him, and wanted to join hands with the entire Super Yuan Dan Alliance to kill you, and seize your legendary God Dan's pill formulas. This guy could have it anywhere. I will remember this debt." Xiang hated those who wanted to rob him the most. The pressure mantra's Paternoster Soulstone has been refined. Xiao Xianglin came out from the time array and laughed. When you master this incantation, your power will increase even more. When Xiang received the Paternoster Soulstone from Xiao Xianglin, it looked like it had a crystal core. Just eat it. Xiang swallowed it whole and closed his eyes, waiting for the pressure mantra to appear in his mind. Both Little White Fox and Xiao Xianglin had mastered the incantation, and he had already seen its power before. The legendary mantra S required 500,000 Tao Creation holy crystals, but he did not have that many. Therefore, Xiao Xianglin now began to help him improve the mighty shock pill imprints and the twin Dan grain S. After Xiang ate the Paternoster Soul Stone, he quickly grasped the pressure mantra. He locked onto a huge rock, and with a thought, a pressure wall was released from all directions, instantly pressing that huge rock into a small square brick. This square brick was extremely heavy in his hand, and after it was squeezed, it became extremely sturdy. The pressure mantra is so awesome. Xiang chuckled, then formed a circular deep pit on the ground. He was also familiarizing himself with the pressure mantra. He was only waiting for the doppelganger mantra now. This was a legendary mantra, so for this kind of Paternoster Soul Stone to be refined, it would require a lot of Tao Creation divine crystals. Therefore, Xiang had to work even harder to earn the Tao Creation divine crystals now. Just as Xiang wanted to go to the fighting glorious city, he found a weak aura transmitted over. He immediately used his penetrating power to penetrate a large boulder to hide, and at the same time released his spirit body to check out what was inside. If these fellows are not from the Super Yuan Dan Alliance, then who are they? Xianxia felt that the auras of these people were not like those of the Alchemist and was very suspicious. Before this, Xianxia had seen many members who were not Alchemist, but they were very few. Within Super Yuandan Alliance, there were quite a few alchemists with powerful strengths, so they didn't need anyone to protect them, not to mention the fact that the villa was protected by a very strong barrier. They must have come from that villa to come here. Xianxia was very sure, because the location of Super Yuandan Alliance's villa was very hidden away from the crowd. Someone who could appear here was most likely related to the Super Yuandan Alliance. They are all in the middle stage of world-defying stage legendary rank, for a total of 4 people. Xianxia said to Little White Fox, "Junior sister, I will need you to come out later." Xianxia suspected that it was the old man from Super Yuandan Alliance who sent them to deal with him. All right. Little White Fox was already prepared to fight. Xianxia released a few of his Mouse-Man-s and created some commotion inside. He wanted to spread the people out. He did not plan to kill all 4 of them, and only wanted to capture one alive. They're obviously after me. I leaked a bit of my aura earlier, so they found me based on that aura. Now, they've come here but haven't found me. Xianxia thought. Very soon, the Mouse Man made a commotion, and after these few people heard it, they all spread out to search. After the other 3 left, Xianxia immediately took action. Little White Fox quickly came out of the Yuyao Mountain Villa, released his 2 clones, and worked with Xianxia to release 4 strong waves of pressure at the same time. The gray-clothed man who was flanking from all directions. When Xianxia and Little White Fox attacked, they did not show any mercy at all, but used their strongest strengths to attack. In just an instant, they had heavily injured the gray-clothed man. "It's done, let's go." Xianxia immediately put the gray-clothed man into the 6 realms mirrors, and Little White Fox quickly entered the Yuyao Mountain Villa. The other 3 gray-clothed men could feel the strong auras being released, and by the time they had caught up, Xianxia was already long gone. Xianxia passed the severely injured and unconscious gray-clothed man over to Bai Yuyu. The gray-clothed man was frantically being pressured by a few pressures. The bones all over his body had been shattered. He could no longer be considered as a human being, but his soul was still there. Bai Yuyu could easily search for memories inside. Bai Yuyu had just started, and immediately stopped, his face becoming gloomy. That was close. Bai Yuyu still had some lingering fear in his heart as he said, "This guy's soul has a very strange kind of protection. When I was searching through his memories, I almost suffered a backlash." "Sister Yuyu, you're not hurt, right?" Xianxia was very worried. "No." Bai Yuyu let out a long sigh and said, "Even though it was only for a short moment, I managed to find some things from him. This guy is from God Creation race." God Creation race? This is a clan that is related to the Tao Creation Divine Lord. The Tao Creation Divine Lord's bloodline should be flowing in their veins. Xianxia thought for a moment, then continued, "The creator of the Super Yuandan Alliance, Chu Jinfeng, is the disciple of the Tao Creation Divine Lord. Maybe he has some sort of relationship with the God Creation race. Looks like someone is colluding with the God Creation race in the Super Yuandan Alliance." Qin Shuang said, "It's such a pity, grandfather left with Tao Creation Divine Lord. Otherwise, they might have taken care of him. Looks like the legendary 9 creation race has gradually surfaced. Their competition between each other is extremely intense. If they were to obtain the legendary God Dan, then it would indeed be able to increase their strength by a large amount." Xianxia sneered, "I won't let them succeed." Xianxia's legendary God Dan were also related to the Huajing Dan grain, and these were all very precious. He would definitely not give them to those who forced him. The Tao Creation Divine Lord has already returned to his homeland, which means that he will no longer care about the things here. Thus, when we make a move against that God Creation race, we do not need to worry about anything. Long Shui said, "Of course, these guys are secretly plotting against me. Just you wait." When Xianxia thought about this, he immediately became furious. If he did not run quickly, he would have already fallen into the hands of the God Creation race. He was now even more disgusted with God Creation race. "I wonder how I can find Chu Jinfeng," Hua Liqing said. This alliance master Chu Jinfeng is not bad. Not bad indeed. I'm starting to worry about him now. Chun Xiang felt that since someone was already planted in the Super Yuandan Alliance, the God creation race would definitely want to control the Super Yuandan Alliance for his own use, and Chu Jinfeng was definitely the biggest obstacle. I hope he's okay. Chun Xiang rode on his 6 realms mirrors and flew in the sky. He wanted to go find Chu Jinfeng since he had a sign in his hands that was the only thing that could communicate with him. He's definitely going to look for the fire creation race now. Qin Shuang said. When you told him about the 9 creation race before, he thought that there might be a key hidden inside, so he went to find it. The fire creation race should be very close to the fighting glorious city. So Chun Xiang immediately headed towards the vicinity of the fighting glorious city and circled in the air. After the last time he annihilated the people of fire creation race, the fire creation race actually did not send anyone to retaliate. It was unknown if it was because he was worried that the fighting glorious city's defenses were too strong that he did not dare to come. Chun Xiang went to find Yang Zhenming. City Lord, have there been any suspicious people coming here recently? I'm looking for the fellow from fire creation race. Chun Xiang said. The scouts I've arranged to stay nearby have reported that 1 or 2 people with a very strong flame aura will appear and quickly disappear. Yang Zhenming said. I suspect that these guys are the fire creation race's spies. That's a possibility. Chun Xiang nodded. I'll take a look around. Chun Xiang released a large number of heaven-devouring rat and started swimming under the war-radiant divine mountain, searching for a suitable person. If it was Yang Zhenming who sent out the spies, Chun Xiang would recognize the clothes they were wearing, so he would not make a mistake in recognizing them. After searching for a long time, Chun Xiang finally found someone else. It's just me alone. The aura of the flames on my body are so thick. It's very likely that this is a fellow from the fire creation race. They have often come here to investigate, and I don't know why, but they definitely have ill intentions. Chun Xiang thought in his heart, and then rushed to the spy. This spy who looked like a fire creation race was a short and thin man wearing a set of strange clothes. This clothes could quickly change color, and could also hide a large portion of one's chi. So when it changed color, it could make people fuse with their surroundings, making them hard to see with their eyes. He very quickly discovered the heaven-devouring rat lying on the tree, and then threw out a small flying knife to kill it. The flying knife's speed was very fast, causing Chun Xiang to not have enough time to control the heaven-devouring rat to avoid it. He was killed. This guy is really vigilant. He won't even let a mouse go. Chun Xiang was still on the road, but the other party was very cautious, and was not the type of person who would fight. If he felt that something was amiss, he would definitely run away at the first moment, so he could not alert the other party. After Chun Xiang's illusion passed, the other party did not discover it. His cultivation is only at the early stage of world-defying stage legendary rank. After Chun Xiang used his phantom body, he could clearly sense the opponent's strength. After all, he was just a scout and he didn't need to be that strong. As long as he could conceal himself well, run fast, and have sharp eyes, he would be fine. Using his counter power and his penetrating abilities, Chun Xiang had already snuck up a large tree behind the short man. However, just as he was about to escape, Chun Xiang suddenly released a burst of pressure, condensing it into a palm and pressing the man onto the ground. Chun Xiang immediately took out his 6 realms mirrors and released a seal, sealing the man inside. Who are you? Chun Xiang walked over, using the sword to point at him. He asked coldly. The short, thin man did not say a word. He looked very stubborn. I'd like to see how stubborn you are. Chun Xiang threw him into the 6 realms mirrors and then displayed all kinds of torture methods to the short man. When the short man saw the torture, he was sure that if he did not cooperate, all the torture would be used on him. Right now, Chun Xiang didn't dare let Bai Yuyu devour the other party's memories. This man might also have something to protect his soul, so it would be very easy for him to devour the other party's memories. What do you want to ask? The short man spoke. Who sent you? What is his purpose? Chun Xiang said. I am from Fire Creation Race. If you are from Fighting Glorious City, you should be familiar with me. A few of our people were killed by you earlier, and as for the goal, you should be able to guess it yourself. We wanted to take over your fighting glorious city, so we had to first clearly investigate your strengths. The short man said coldly. Fire Creation Race had never sent anyone to the fighting glorious city. It turns out that it was because he had been humiliated before, so this time, he had to clearly investigate the fighting glorious city's strength. Your Fire Creation Race is not stupid. Xianxia sneered. The fighting glorious city was originally built by us with great effort. Do you usually want to take it? With our strength, we have great power to force you to submit. The short man said. Is that so? If you guys are really that strong, why didn't you attack directly and send you to stealthily touch and do nothing? Xianxia laughed out loud. Your Fire Creation Race is indeed strong, but after fighting with your fighting glorious city, no matter if you win or lose, you will still receive heavy injuries. When the time comes, the other races might just swallow you all up. The short man was extremely intelligent, so he did not doubt Xianxia's words. The reason the Fire Creation Race had delayed his attack was indeed because they were worried about this. Where is the Fire Creation Race? Xianxia wanted to go near the Fire Creation Race and see if he could find Chu Jinfeng. He needed to quickly tell him about the terrible things that had happened in the Super Yuandan Alliance. What is it? Do you want to attack the Fire Creation Race? The short man sneered. With just you. Cut the crap. Hurry up and say it. Xianxia coldly snorted. The short man was also afraid of Xianxia's torture methods, so he could only honestly tell Xianxia the location of the Fire Creation Race. When the Fire Creation Race was sealed within the Tao Creation Fire Mountain, they came out after the Tao Creation Fire Mountain exploded. When Xianxia arrived outside the mountain range, he took out that tablet to see if he could send a message to Chu Jinfeng, allowing him to sense that he was in the vicinity. He did not plan to enter the deep mountains. The Fire Creation Race was an extremely powerful force with a certain background, and the inside was the territory of the Fire Creation Race. Furthermore, the Fire Creation Race had been on guard against the other 8 Creation Races. After waiting for a long time, Xianxia suddenly sensed a trace of Chu Jinfeng's qi. Chu Jinfeng came. Chief! Xianxia was very happy to see Chu Jinfeng. Xianxia, do you have something important to say? We can actually find our way here. Chu Jinfeng was more surprised. This is very important. Xianxia told Chu Jinfeng everything that happened with Lin Yu, as well as that old man. After Chu Jinfeng heard this, he began to curse angrily. These old idiots. I never thought they would actually do such a thing. Alliance Master. Could there be someone above you in the Super Yuandan Alliance? Xianxia said. Yes, they are the descendants of Master, they are very strong, but they rarely ask about the affairs of the Super Yuandan Alliance. I really didn't think they would do something like this. I'm sorry. Chu Jinfeng felt extremely guilty because when Xianxia encountered this kind of thing in the Super Yuandan Alliance, he was not in the Super Yuandan Alliance. It's fine. I'm not hurt at all. Xianxia laughed. When I saw them being so arrogant, I thought that they had killed you. The God Creation Race must have contacted them and given them some conditions, which is why they are acting like this. But no matter what, you must not go back to the Super Yuandan Alliance. Chu Jinfeng's heart was currently heavy. A perfectly fine Super Yuandan Alliance had been messed up by these few old fellows. Chief, when are you going back? Xianxia asked. They will definitely not do anything to Dan Alliance's Alchemist. Otherwise, they will definitely leave the Super Yuandan Alliance. From your previous description, those alchemists all extremely disgusted with him. Chu Jinfeng said, this time, I must get the key from the Fire Creation Race. With the key, I will be even stronger. It's much easier to deal with the old men. What's the use of a key? Xianxia asked. Xiao Xianglin had obtained an array from the key in the Tao Creation's Evil Mountain. Now she was refining an array disk based on the array. Master told me before, the biggest use of the key is to restrain the creation race. Chu Jinfeng said. For example, Fire Creation Race is extremely afraid of the power contained within the key. In addition, the power contained in the key will also cause great harm to other races. Isn't the key to the Tao Creation's Divine Mountain in Tao Creation Divine Lord's hands? This is the best weapon to deal with God creation race. Xianxia said. That's right, but we don't have the key to the Tao creation's divine mountain, so we can only use the Tao creation fire mountains. It might very well be in the hands of the fire creation race. Chu Jinfeng said. As long as we get one, dealing with them will be much easier. Among the 9 Tao creation mountains, the keys to the Tao creation's mountain of ice and the Tao creation's mountain of myriad gods were all in the hands of the Tao creation divine lord, while Xianxia had obtained the key to the Tao creation's evil mountain. In other words, the ice creation race, evil creation race, and God creation race do not have the key. Compared to the other 6 races, they are the weakest because the other 6 races can use the key to deal with them. So there's actually such a way to play it. Xianxia was secretly happy. He felt that the evil mountain key in his hands could have a huge impact on the fire creation race. He planned to use the short guide to try it. Xianxia, quickly leave this place. God creation race will come out to patrol from time to time. Chu Jinfeng said.